Alright, you guys, it's me, Joshua, aka Future Filmmaker 39480 here once again. Last time I did my horror movie ranking, my superhero movie ranking, and then my worst movies of 2017 podcast. I appreciate those who watched. Now we get into my okay / disappointing movies of 2017, and I do have to say 2016 has been a year of good movies, great movies, surprises, and bad movies, but there's also been some pretty decent or disappointing movies at best. Now, before I get into the list, I do have to say that these are all my personal picks. We have 16 of them. I've chosen them carefully. And one of them, which you will see, which is a superhero movie, you will see it here. Don't take it too personally. If you don't like the list, don't get upset. Share your list and we carry on from there. So in that case, let's get started now with the list. At number 16 is A Cure for Loveness. Now, this movie got a lot of crap by critics and audiences, and it bombed at the box office. This is a movie directed by Gore Verbinski, stars Dane DeHaan, Mia Goth, and Jason Isaacs, and I really enjoyed A Cure for Wellness. It wasn't great, it wasn't perfect, I did have my issues. I did feel like the movie got a little bit too weird in a couple of areas, and another issue I had with the movie is that I felt like the movie ran on for 2 hours and 22 minutes too long. But the premise interests me. It was an original idea that Gore Verbinski came up with. I think the direction is pretty good. The acting was great. And this was a movie I was not even anticipating, and it was kind of surprised me. But A Cure for Wellness, the reason why it's at number 16, again, it goes on for a little too long, and also there is a lot of weird and intense parts. But I do get what Gore Verbinski's doing. It's an original idea. The acting was great. Cinematography looks nice, and some of the writing is great. It's pretty interesting. So I do have to say that A Cure for Wellness wasn't too bad. I did get some enjoyment out of it. Coming in number 15 is Underworld Blood Wars. Now, I was really looking forward to Underworld Blood Wars because I liked the first Underworld. The second one was awesome, basically my favorite one. Rise of the Lycans was really good, and Underworld Awakening I thought was pretty entertaining. This one, yeah, I did enjoy it, but I was let down with how they killed Michael off screen, and it's granted Scott Speedman he didn't want to play the character anymore. You just should not have mentioned him. But also I feel like the movie got a little bit messed with, and some of the writing is not good. Some of the characters weren't that interesting, except for Theo James, Kate Beckinsale, and you don't even mention India Isley in this movie, and that really did hurt the movie. And then you end the movie. The action's cool, but the ending was like whatever. So I don't know. Underworld Blood Wars is a letdown, but I did get some enjoyment out of it. Next up is Clyde. This was a film starring Nicholas Hoult and Felicity Jones. I didn't mind the movie. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. It was just okay. The acting from the two, they were pretty good. Some of the other acting was good as well. But the story was something we've seen before. The action is kind of lackluster, and some of the dialogue in this movie is a little hard to take in. But Clyde wasn't too bad. I actually found some enjoyment in it. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, Felicity Jones is taking a break for a little while, but Clyde, it was pretty good. I don't know if I would recommend this. If I recommend this movie, which I will review it, I would probably give this movie a Redbox rental at best. At best, a Redbox rental. Number 13 is Tyler Perry's Boo! A Madea Halloween 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. Joshua, why? Because I'm a guy who likes Tyler Perry. That's why. I like Madea Halloween, the first one. So this one, I didn't even know that there was going to be another one until I looked it up, and it's coming out this year. But again, like I said in my review, the problems I did have, I feel like some of the writing is a little whatever. They do use a certain word that I still don't like, curse word I don't like, which they use in the first Madea Halloween, but anytime they use that word, I just laugh at it. Uncle Joe was pretty funny. It's basically the same as the first one. I like Aunt Bam and Hattie. I like seeing the mom of Tiffany in here. Tyler Perry, he's good in here. I will defend Tyler Perry. He's much more he at least doesn't get on my nerves like Amy Schumer did when I watched Snatched, and Snatched was not funny. I got some jokes out of this one. There were some jokes that weren't really that good, but I still laughed. I still have fun with Madea Halloween 2. It's an okay film, but the first Madea Halloween is better. But I enjoy Madea Halloween 2 for what it is. Coming to number 12 is Murder on the Orient Express. Now, this movie I was actually pretty curious about, because it's based on a story by Agatha Christie. I've never heard of the original ones. I never heard. So the trailers looked interesting, and it has a pretty good cast. Kenneth Branagh directing and starring in it. Penelope Cruz, Josh Gad, Derek Jacobi, Judi Dench, Johnny Depp, Willem Dafoe, and of course Daisy Ridley. I know a lot of people. Daisy Ridley there are people who likes Daisy Ridley, and there are people who hates Daisy Ridley. For those who hate Daisy Ridley, you probably do not want to watch this movie because she is in it. But if you like Daisy Ridley, people, you can give this movie a shot. But the reason why it's on this list is that it's pretty boring in a lot of parts, and there were some moments in here that I thought just was not all that shocking. But Murder on Orient Express, I still had some fun with it. The acting was good, the direction is good. I like how this movie shot. Everyone gives a great performance, including Johnny Depp in his small part. This is worthy of a rental, Redbox Rental. I can give it that. It's not terrible, but it could have been a lot better. So, Murder on the Orient Express is at number 12. Coming at number 11 is Resident Evil 6, The Final Chapter. Now, this was another one on my most anticipated of 2017. I was really looking forward to, because this movie was supposed to come out in 2015, but they delayed it to 2016, then 2017. And I have to say, I have fun with Resident Evil, The Final Chapter. I have fun with it. It definitely has some editing issues, and there are some things that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But Resident Evil 6, The Final Chapter does deliver on its action, and the ending, just let this be the last Resident Evil movie. Don't do any more. Because I do like the Resident Evil franchise, but the franchise is run its course, and so has Fast and Furious. But we still have 2 more Fast and Furious movies to go before that franchise is done and over with. But Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, it's a decent time waster. It's a guilty pleasure, so I do enjoy it. I get some fun out of it. It's passable, okay? It's passable. I don't mind it. I like it. Number 10 is Jigsaw. My number 10 is Jigsaw. This was another one of my most anticipated, and I have to say, I did enjoy myself, but I was severely let down by this movie because this should have been a lot more better. Now, granted, I did have some fun with Jigsaw. I will give it that. The traps were cool, the acting was good, but the same twists and turns still good, and Tobin Bell is Jigsaw. He was pretty cool. But the movie suffers from the formula, from some horror movie cliches. It does suffer from some kind of crazy parts, but Jigsaw, I would be lying if I didn't say I didn't find this movie the least bit entertaining. I did enjoy the movie to a certain extent, but I do admit that the Saw franchise should have stayed dead. But Jigsaw, nevertheless, it's watchable. It's not the best Saw movie, but it's watchable. It's passable. Coming to number 9, we have Thor Ragnarok. Now, again, the reason why this is on here, because the first time I saw this movie, I was disappointed by it. I was very let down by it. I didn't care for the direction that much. I didn't like the Grant. I didn't like some of the stuff they were going for, and I didn't really care. Couldn't get too invested into the story, and I didn't care for the direction of this movie by the guy who was in Green Lantern, which is still a crap movie. But thinking about it more, watching it again, it is better on the second time, but I still have issues with it. I still don't think it's the best Marvel Cinematic Universe film. I don't think it's the best Thor movie either. But it's got a lot of good, more good than bad. I do like the direction more this time around. I do like Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston. I like Tessa Thompson. I like Mark Ruffalo. The action was cool. The music was cool. The production design and the effects were really good. And the story was much more... I got more into the story this time around, but there were still some things I wasn't 100% happy with. I wasn't 100% happy with the absence. I don't appreciate the absence of Lady Sif, and I know she was doing a TV show. You don't have to tell me in the comments. I do not like Jeff Goldblum. Look, he's funny in here, but he is wasted. It's like he's the Grand Master. He has no business being in this movie if you're gonna waste him. But Jeff Goldblum, he's really good in here. He's really good. But and I did not like the fight. I still don't like the fight between Hulk and Thor. I don't know what it is. I just can't get into it. But I do like Cate Blanchett as Hela. I do like Carl Urban in here. I do like the approach that they were taking this movie, and it's not too bad for Thor 3 or the end of the Thor trilogy, but it could have been a little bit better. You could have tried to get Lady Sif into this movie for at least for a couple of scenes, but the cameo by Doctor Strange was my favorite part of the movie. So Thor Ragnarok, it's not the best MCU movie, not the best story movie, but it is a passable movie. I can watch it. It's pretty entertaining now. Now number 8 is The Circle. This movie was disappointing. I saw the trailer for this. It looked really good, but the movie just let me down for some reason. The acting is not bad, especially not Emma Watson or Tom Hanks or John Boyega or the late Bill Paxton in his final film appearance. The music is pretty good by Danny Elfman. I do like the direction, and the story was interesting. But the problem I have with the movie is that the movie was very slow in a lot of areas. I felt like the movie got a little boring at parts, and also the whole ending of this movie I didn't really care for. But it does pick up its pace in between the middle act and the ending act of the movie. So it's not that bad of a movie, but it's also not that great of a movie. So number 8 is The Circle. Coming in number 7, we have Leatherface. Leatherface, this was another film of this year I was anticipating, because Leatherface, he is one of my favorite horror movie killers. Not my number 1 favorite, but I like him. He's pretty cool. But his franchises has a series of hit and miss movies. You have the first one is a classic. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is horrible. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 is watchable. The fourth one is so bad. The 2003 remake and 2006 prequel I enjoyed, and Texas Chainsaw 3D was just hilariously bad. And I was willing to give this one a chance to see how it will hold up, and it wasn't that bad. In fact, I liked the movie. I didn't love the film. That was the problem. I wanted to love the movie, but it was missing. I felt like the movie kind of got a little. I couldn't really get into some of this movie at parts. I felt like there was some of the characters were underdeveloped, and the movie got a little bit too gory. But the acting was great. I do like the young boy. I do like the idea of Leatherface, the family. I do like the continuity stuff. I do like a lot of other things in here, but Leatherface, this is where I have to say this could have been a little bit better. But it is no ways as worse as Texas Chainsaw 2 or Texas Chainsaw The Next Generation. So, yeah. Coming to number 6 is Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. This is, of course, directed by Luc Besson, the director who's given us good movies like The Professional and Lucy and The Fifth Element. And this I was actually looking forward to. The trailers interested me. I thought it looked really good. It had a pretty cool effects, pretty cool entertaining stuff. But the movie was a letdown. The characters, I didn't get enough time, enough development out of the characters. The effects are nice. Some of the acting is pretty cool, and some of the actors are kind of underused. But it was the action was pretty good when it's there. I did get some jokes laughing. And I do like Dane DeHaan in the film. He's fine. Cara Delevingne, she's great in here. She's hot, though. She may be gay, but also, I felt the movie was just it's just lacking what made me like The Fifth Element more. It is lacking that extra pow, that extra punch. So overall, I have to say that Atomic Blonde, I mean Valerian, the City of 1,000 Planets, was a letdown, but it wasn't terrible. Number 5, we have Atomic Blonde. This stars Charlize Theron and James McAvoy, and I have to say that this was okay, but John Wick Chapter 2 is the better movie. Because the problem I have with this movie is that the story wasn't as interesting as I thought the trailer was made it out to be. The action is nice, the soundtrack's cool, Charlize Theron's pretty cool, and the acting is good. But I felt like there was something missing in this movie. And Sofia Boutella is underused, so there was no reason to really put her in this movie at all. Also, there were some other things in here that I couldn't really get into, but I will say it's a decent time waster, but not much more than that. So that's basically it with Atomic Blonde. I don't have a whole lot to say on it. Number 4 is All Eyes on Me. Now, All Eyes on Me, everyone was excited about this movie because it would be the first movie biopic about the late rapper Tupac Shakur. I was even excited by the trailers. But by the time I saw the movie, I was extremely let down with All Eyes on Me. I don't know who was it? I don't know whether it was studios or the writers, or the directing's fine, the acting's good, they do keep the Tupac songs in there, but there is so many things that this movie glosses over in Tupac's life, and you did kind of mess up the whole romance with him and Jada Pinkett, because there's a lot of inaccuracy to that in the movie. But the acting was good. I do like hearing the Tupac songs. The way this movie shot looks good, but this movie would have been much better if it was like the New Edition story, where BET took the story of New Edition and made it into a 3-part miniseries. You could have done it with Tupac, as made it into a 3-part miniseries for the BET or VH1, and it would have been much better. While it does have its moments, All Eyes on Me is just a complete letdown. And this is coming from someone who does like Tupac, and who was massively let down by this movie. You could have done a lot better with this movie. Coming in number 3 is Life, with Ryan Reynolds, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Rebecca Ferguson. This was pretty decent. It's it wasn't the best thing, and it's not Alien ripoff, but I thought it was pretty intriguing until the end of the movie. I don't like how the movie ends, but the first and second acts are the best parts of this movie. Ryan Reynolds is great. Rebecca Ferguson is great. Love her girl, by the way. Can't wait to see her in Mission Impossible 6 next year. And Jake Gyllenhaal was great. The music is fine, and it has some pretty entertaining moments, but when you really think about this movie is kind of just a little boring. But I don't think it was that bad as some people made it out to be. But it's definitely not a great film. But I do get some enjoyment out of it. It's not horrible. Coming at number 2, we have Rough Nights. Rough Nights, of course, is a comedy with Scarlett Johansson. I know some people don't care for the film, but I liked this movie. I liked it. It was pretty entertaining. It was pretty fun. It was pretty cool. But there were some major flaws that I have with the movie. Some of the jokes did not feel 100% funny to me, and also there were some moments I could have done without, but I have to say Scarlett Johansson was great in it. I do like Kate McKinnon here a lot more than I did in Ghostbusters 2016, even though she was one of the only few things about that movie I could tolerate. But I really thought the movie was pretty entertaining. It was pretty decent. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad either. I just think the film was okay. Just okay. It's not terrible. It's not horrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. But Rough Night, you could have been a little bit better. Just a little bit better. But at the end of the day, I will give the movie some credit where credit is due. It did make me laugh. It did have some good acting, and it was pretty solid. My number 1 most disappointing movie is This is the 4th this is one of 4 Stephen King adaptations. Gerald's Game, 1922, and the new version of it was the other 3. This one came out on my birthday month, and it is The Dark Tower. I was kind of curious about this movie. I thought that it looked really good. I thought it looked pretty fun. But the movie was a letdown, because this is a book series that goes to 8 books. This book series is 8 books, and you try to take all 8 books and take elements and then combine them into this one movie, which makes the movie a bit of a mess. And this movie is way too short, because there's so much stuff that's left hanging. There's a lot of world building and some character development that you don't get in here. But there were some good things in it. The acting was good. I liked the score. But the battle with Matthew McConaughey, Idris Elba, is not even that long. It's just, I know it sounds like I hate the film. I really don't. I just am I'm pretty much let down by The Dark Tower, because this should have been a lot better. If you and this movie had a lot of production history, so Sony, you kind of messed up with you pretty much messed up with The Dark Tower, because it should have been a lot better. But it did have some entertaining value to it, and it is a time waster at best. So I did give the movie a good grade. I'm giving it that. So let me know what you guys think of